Who's the most overrated and underrated in the hobby? And this is across all sports. I will say NASCAR as a whole is overrated.
Why do we have the Napa know-how? What did Chase Elliott do to us?
There's nothing. He could be underrated. I didn't say he's overrated.
I mean, why do we always got to hate on Chase?
Because he's defensive.
Opposite.
I take the Wiggins on there as if like you were thinking that he's underrated.
Yes, indeed. Underrated.
You know what I was thinking about?
Wait, you saying that Mac Jones is overrated? Are we doing this again? Didn't we just do this in the last segment?
That's right. Well, that's why I was like, I'm gonna holster my opinions. But yes, the Mac. And again, this stems from people. I think as Dan pulls the incredible, flawless, one-of-one Shield RPA of Mac Jones.
Day in and day out.
Breaking news.
Did we talk about that today?
But some of the reaction has been obviously mostly positive, but some people being like, can't believe Mac Jones' cards go for this much. Guy's not, he's going to be nobody. He's going to be a nobody in a couple of years. We've seen the best of Mac Jones. So I'll throw it to you guys. Who are your most overrated, underrated, not just athletes in the hobby, but maybe even products in the hobby? But we'll start just with some of the athletes. And I guess I should just ask, is Mac Jones overrated right now in this hobby?
I think silence. Yeah, we can't do that.
I was waiting for somebody else to answer.
Somebody talk.
I took a deep breath because I was thinking because we just were on that high of pulling that card, but I would lean. I'm more of a centerist in this argument, so I think I would lean a little bit more towards the overrated. Not completely overrated, but a little bit overrated.
I'm gonna say no, he's not overrated, and this is a question that pops up literally every single year because of it's just the nature of the rookies of the year that they're in, right? You're going to have these rookies sell for a crazy amount every single year, especially these top guys like Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones. And I don't think they're overrated. They're just that's what people want and are hyped up out and want to spend their money on for that year. Now, we'll see in a year or two, maybe he could be overrated. Like my guy that I'm going to say is overrated is Patrick Mahomes. He's overrated in the hobby.
Bias.
So like he had
Tyreek Hill. Is this Tyreek Hill?
Okay. So my argument is that obviously no bias here, but Patrick Mahomes had an incredible start to his career. Youngest, won a Super Bowl, MVP, all that stuff, like all the accolades. But now at this point, we've seen his team not be as successful. Like people were putting him on a pedestal as if he was the next Tom Brady. He may still be the next Tom Brady, but until he wins that second, third Super Bowl, fourth Super Bowl, I gotta see it to justify the prices that he's at, where he's at the Brady level already with these prices, if not getting very close to the Brady level of prices. So that's why for me he's very overrated in the hobby. But for Mac Jones, I think he's just the new hype rookie for this year. And I know we're not a huge quarterback class next year, so maybe those quarterbacks won't be as hyped as this year's. But Pickett for the Steelers will still sell for more than people would think he should sell for as well next year. It's going to be the same thing.
All right, Mac Jones, underrated because of what he could be in the future on that team with that coaching staff, wearing that logo on his helmet, the what if factor that he could be the next Tom Brady.
Yeah, if he was on the Dolphins, would we have the same?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying underrated, because I believe he is underrated because of the potential of what he could be wearing that jersey and playing that position. Overrated. Jordan Poole.
Ooh.
I'm a Warrior fan. And based on his card prices right now, you got to, Doug actually bought was it a Spectra?
Yeah, it was
die-cut rookie.
Number 8, the Universal.
Mm-hmm. Guy was trying to get, what, $1,500 at the show?
Yeah, it's a $1,000 card all day.
That is insane. If you look at what he is doing, I know he had a good regular season, but lights are shining bright in the finals. He is not showing up. He's hitting a couple big shots here and there, but overrated at this moment, Jordan Poole. Underrated, Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown is the best player on that team.
Oh, he's all right.
Last game, it wasn't very good.
No, but Man, if I'm building a team, I think I'd rather have Jaylen Brown on my team than Jason Tatum.
Oof, that's tough. That's tough, but I give you that.
And as far as underrated, NASCAR in the hobby and as a sport as a whole, just underrated everywhere.
Did you go to the Sonoma race?
I did not go. I watched it, though. I watched it. Daniel Suarez won. Pitbull.
Who?
That's Pitbull's team. The singer.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't know that. That's tight.
That's cool. I'm going to say overrated, Luka. And I know I've been harping on Luka.
Oh, that's
But you know why?
yeah, no
Because I
doubt.
feel the collectors. I feel that so many of these collectors came in and that were the pandy. You know, they came in and they were like, everybody bought Lukas. Everybody bought Lukas at $1,800. They were $1,800 base prisms, PSA 10s. Oh my God, I got to get one. I got to get one. Silvers at $10,000. I got to get one. I got to get one. Those are $200 cards and $800 cards now. So Luka literally lost the most money out of anybody in the hobby for more people than any of these players we're talking about. So that is why he's overrated. Panini might have had a hand in that too.
I can see
but
that.
so many more people lost on Luka than any of these guys we're talking about.
Yeah, I can see that.
Overrated. And I know he's climbing the level. He needs some help on that team, but it's just like he's just the golden boy of the hobby, and I just don't see it yet. Win me a ring, get an MVP, do some things.
Now,
when they actually put a team around him,
he's gonna be really good. They're gonna be really good. That team's
is
gonna be
he
really
still going to be the same player he
Yeah.
is right now?
good. Yeah, I think so.
He's like a fine wine. He gets better with age.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it.
No, I will say this. My pick was most overrated, Patrick Mahomes. Your pick, most overrated, is Luka Doncic. Now, when they play well, it does help the hobby in general because of the same reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we want them to do well, actually. We want
yeah,
Luka to
of
do well.
course.
We want Patrick Mahomes to do well. It's just like kind of like echoing what you're saying with my argument with Patrick Mahomes is that I need to see more, even though he's done great things already in his young career. I need to see more to justify those prices that are close to Tom Brady.
I think underrated.
And Luka Doncic, the same thing.
Yeah.
His prices are outrageous
yeah.
compared to his peers that do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree.
look at Trey Young. I've talked about Trey Young.
I don't know about
Luka,
Trey, but-
Trey Young and Luka's prices. Like,
Maybe like Ja, like Tatum.
Did you just hear what Trae Young said to the media, that he's saying Steph didn't create this three movement, that it was him? All the kids are doing it because of him?
When did he say that?
Unless it was fake.
he didn't say that.
He did.
He didn't say that.
He said
there can't be any truth to that.
he said that there's more kids coming up to him and said, I'm shooting threes because of you. I'm taking long threes because of Trey.
He's busy doing commercials.
Absolutely delusional if he said
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's hard to believe what gets put out in the
Nah,
media.
he didn't. I can't see.
They
him
said
saying
Tracy
that.
McGrady said that Steph was the 112th best player of all time, was reported somewhere, and it was false.
Tracy
So-
McGrady said that.
Yeah, he said that he ranks him 112.
Supposedly.
He didn't, though. He said that he didn't rank him as high as Jordan and Kobe yet because 2 of the championships were won by Kevin Durant.
There's a huge difference between being compared to those two guys and being ranked 112th.
Exactly, but I'm saying that is the stories that are coming up on our Facebooks and our Twitters, and if you don't research it, people start to believe that. Just like the $175,000 Mac Jones resale didn't happen. One person put it out, and then everybody started saying it. I heard it in the chat. I heard it in other comments. It was false, but people started to believe what they read on the internets. As far as underrated, I actually think this is a wild pick, but I think Jalen Hurts is underrated. He came into camp, bulked up a little bit, went to the playoffs last year, although looked horrible in the playoffs. Hopefully, it was a first time jitters. But I think the Eagles are on the right path. I think that division could be easily won by the Eagles because I think the Cowboys are leaking oil. I think the Washington Commanders are still on the uptick. And I think that they could win that division again. And Jalen Hurts could have a strong season.
That's not bad. I gotta speak on this because he's on the slide. Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if you guys seen it too on Slab Stocks. They put up a thing like if you had invested $100 on Wiggins, like, or whatever, like 5 years ago, you would up to this point where he's playing incredible in the finals, you'd still be losing money right now. This is like, so he can't. I don't think he's underrated, man. I think he is where he is, and he obviously he fits great with the Warriors. He's playing tremendously for us, but in terms of the hobby, I think his time has passed. I don't think he's underrated.
Well, an interesting side note, I was trying to find pictures, but I think you started, so when C-Rad met us, he had gotten into an eminence break, which was the year of Andrew Wiggins' rookie year.
Yep.
And I believe the only 2 rookies in eminence that year was Wiggins and Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
So you were trying to get a Wiggins back then.
Yep.
I think you wound up getting some Kobe cards, which is cool, which I probably wish you still had them.
And I know, I wish I still had it. I was running around the house when I hit that too.
But then this came to be, and then it's kind of funny that Wiggins is on the Warriors now, right? So
I would have never imagined back in 2014 that we would have him on the team, obviously, because he was the number 1 pick. You don't think he's going to end up on a team that's already stacked like the Warriors, right? You like to be able to get a number 1 pick and him turn out the way he has. It's like Warriors front office obviously saw things that we didn't. Because I don't know if I would have made that move necessarily. That's
and
why
getting rid of D'Lo, which probably would have been, most people would have said keep D'Lo as opposed to having Wiggins on the team.
And now the T-Wolves are trying to get rid of D'Lo right now. I don't know if you guys saw
I know
that.
that's crazy, right? So what are your overrated, underrated?
I'm gonna stick with my bread and butter, which is baseball, which I gotta go with. It pains me to say this for overrated. A guy who I'm going to coin this phrase right now on the show, the Zion Williamson of baseball.
Wow.
When he's playing, phenomenal. You get it. Could be a transcendent
I know where he's
figure,
going.
but he's never healthy, and it's Fernando Tatis.
The face of baseball, according to Doug.
He could be the face of baseball, but he's
the face of the injured list.
He is. I don't know if you guys saw the recent news.
He's hurt, and they're like, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, they're basically saying we wanted him to be swinging a bat this month. That's not going to happen. He could be out the whole year. And what's hurting it more too is the Padres
are better
without him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that.
They're sure. I
know they're tied for first, or at least they were, but I don't think the Padres are like, well, it's a good thing that Fernando Tatis isn't in the middle of the order.
They would much rather have Tatis than not have Tatis, but the fact is they don't need him right now to win, and they look just as strong or close to as strong.
I don't
as
disagree. I'll go back on what I said about the face of baseball. It's funny because you mentioned Zion, who's mentioned to be overweight. Now you look at Tatis, you might be like, he needs to gain some weight. Maybe that's why he keeps getting injured.
And needs to get off those motorbikes as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe cut the hair too. I don't know. I don't know what the key is.
He's having a great year. Bryce Harper.
Very good year. And you know what? If anyone is, in a weird way, I wasn't going to say he's underrated, but what he's doing right now, he should be having Tommy John surgery right now. And he said, I'm going to be a DH, and is having maybe the best offensive season.
Wow. He's a ball player.
Wait, who's your underrated then for baseball?
I was going to say Bryce Harper's a sexier pick, but I was going to go with a less sexy pick, but it's the guy I think is the NL MVP right now, and it's Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals. If you guys are watching him at all, what the Cardinals are doing, Cardinals are a good team, but like Goldschmidt is basically like he went to the Cardinals and kind of had not down years but like good years, and I think it kind of leveled everything off. He's also in I think the same set as Trout, so that's always kind of makes it tough.
Or no, Harper.
That's right, it's Harper. Okay, I thought he was in a 2011 update, so but
maybe for that, but for Bowman,
it's also
That's
crazy. I would
So
actually
double.
say that Goldschmidt might be one of the most underrated hobby subjects ever
across the board.
he's consistent
and never really went to that next level in the hobby.
Well, he fell off a little bit when Lincecum retired. Fell off a little bit.
That's right.
But then he got back.
Couldn't eat up on Tim Lincecum every.
Actually, when
40 of his home runs were
when
against
Lincecum was done, I was like, well, heck of a career, Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
But you might as well just retire
That's it.
with Lincecum.
Yeah. That's a great pick for underrated. I feel like beyond 2011, he's been underrated at like 2012 to now.
He is. I mean, look at the numbers right now. He has been on such a tear since the start of May. The Cardinals are playing really well, and I think the only thing he's really needed is an MVP season. Well, now it's happening, and then you look at the body of work he's put together, playing now with Nolan Arenado too.
And you can
There's
actually,
a Hall of Fame.
You
case
can search, and we're not just talking about his prospect auto or his flagship rookie. You can look at current Goldschmidt cards, like in
$20, $30 autos. Yeah,
I mean, you're looking at autos that are well under like $50 for on-card autos.
Of all the guys we've talked about, probably the most affordable. And again, I think right now he's the MVP favorite.
I would say him and Miguel Cabrera, I believe, is underrated.
Yeah,
in the
but you know what
hobby.
I think the problem with those guys is, and I'm not talking about their performance on the field, is they sign everything. And like, it's almost like Topps just take a break from some Goldschmidt autos, like for a little while. Maybe only have them in some high end stuff. It's like he's in Tribute, he's in Museum, he's in Series 1, he's in, it's like.
You just answered your own question, though. He's like, they're easy to get. Like, why do you want to alienate the guys who are like easy to get?
Because there's too much of them. You have to create a little bit more scarcity, because it's like if you have a tier 1 to 99, and then you have a tribute to 99, and then you have a museum to 99, and then it's like the next year it's the same thing, a tribute to 99, a museum to 99.
You don't know. Maybe those guys are calling up Topps and saying, "Hey, can I come down and sign some cards?"
And
like
that's
they're actively like trying to go out of their way. Like, "Hey, I'm gonna be right here if you want to come and sign some cards."
And he's probably doing it for the fans, which is great. But like, there's also that scarcity factor.
I was gonna say, man, those Goldsmith super collectors are probably loving the fact that he's in everything.
Yeah, and they could buy it for
cheap,
for whatever they want. But also the problem is he was a Diamondback rookie, and now he's a Cardinal, so his original cards are going to be Diamondback.
Actually,
colors are close, but
and you can put Freddie Freeman up there as well.
Yeah,
as one of those guys who statistically puts up stats every year, but the hobby value doesn't translate.
Yeah, it is catching up. I think him going to the Dodgers is actually catching up, which is funny because he's having like one of his worst power seasons in a long, long time. So it's funny, his stuff is actually going a little bit up, whereas his stats are kind of flatlined or even gone down in some aspects.
He looks weird in Dodger blue.
Looks very weird, especially those blue
and
pajamas they were wearing.
Those blue jerseys that they had
Terrible.
with the blue pants. I was like, what? I'm like, what is going on?
Awful.
I'm like, those are hideous.
You want to talk about overrated? Those jerseys.
Those jerseys, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
I say this knowing full well that those Giants, the City Connects is what they call them, those Giant City Connects, also garbage.
The creamsicles.
Yes. Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh,
terrible.
God.
Terrible.
Terrible. They're
Actually,
entering the so bad it's good, but it's still bad.